Well, soldiers continue to patrol the streets in Nepal's capital Kathmandu after 2 days of deadly anti-corruption protests that have now killed at least 25 people and forced the resignation of the Prime Minister, Sharma Oli. But what's behind all that rage that saw the Parliament building set on fire? Professor Jeevan Sharma is the chair of South Asia and International Development at the University of Edinburgh, and he joins me now from Kathmandu. Jeevan, good to have you with us today. Firstly, can I get your thoughts and impressions of the level of anger that you saw in the faces of the protesters who were storming the Parliament in Kathmandu yesterday?
I think the protesters, when the protest started, they were angry. At that time, the protest was not as violent. Obviously, there is a background to all of this. But I think as the protest went on, in day two, I think it became quite violent, as per the media reports. So, yes, people were very angry, particularly when they saw 19 young people had died or were killed in that political unrest.
Yes, and we do have reports now from the Health Ministry that the death toll has now risen to 25. Now, Jeevan, you are there at the moment. How does it feel? What's the sense you have on the streets? What does it look like to you at the moment?
I'm actually just about 7 minutes walk from the center of the political protest that took place on Monday and Tuesday. So at the moment, things seem quite normal in the neighborhood where I am, in the sense that shops are open, people are walking around, although the army has advised, a prohibitory sort of order not to ask people to gather unnecessarily, to stay home at the moment, and there is a curfew in place from 5 o'clock this evening until tomorrow morning 6 a.m. Nepal time. So things seem, looking at what happened in the last couple of days, things seem quite calm, but the bigger political questions remain. What next?
Yes,
What's going to happen? So there's a lot of anxiety.
Indeed, let's get to those underlying issues there, because there are stories about what triggered this anger, this thing about Nepo kids, the perception that the children of powerful figures and politicians are living lives of luxury. Are those perceptions justified?
It's justified in the sense that that's true. These are basically young people, Gen Z in Nepal. There is no sort of formal organization of theirs, right? So these are basically self-organizing young people who gathered some photographs, largely from social media, of those, political leaders' sons and daughters, etc., and made memes, and photographs were shared in TikTok, etc. I think to a great extent, yes, it's true that I wouldn't say all, but to an extent, that is true. What the movement was really trying to convey.
Yes, but were there issues that have been lingering in the background, perhaps for months, maybe for even years, that saw this, ultimately saw the explosion of what we saw over the past couple of days?
Absolutely. Nepal is going through, if you look at the kind of larger structural issues, Nepal is going through what you call demographic transition, with, large number of young people with very little employment sort of prospects. Large number of Nepalis go and work in the Gulf states as migrant workers, or in Southeast Asia, because there are not many jobs at home. So that's the sort of broader set of context, but also that social media has become a very, very integral part of Nepali families, not just young people, including the families of the migrant workers who use social media platforms to connect to their families, etc. So I think the kind of when the government sort of announced that they were going to suspend a number of social media platforms effective from 4th of September. So people, I think youngsters read that as a kind of sign of a space that was available to them to express their dissent was also silenced, right? So for that reason, and they were frustrated with state capture, the question of corruption, as you already mentioned. So I think that was a perfect storm, that you had the structural kind of context of, unemployment, together with, suspension of social media that was providing the vent for youngsters to vent out their frustration and so on. And then came this particular campaign inspired from Indonesia, obviously, Nepo kids. And very quickly it became, it just went out of, you could say it just got fermented fairly quickly.
Yes, and what do you think it is that, this Gen Z section of the Nepali population want politically? Do they want a new set of leaders? And I'm only asking because we have seen the same set of leaders in Nepal for decades, Prachanda. We've seen, of course, KP, Sharma Oli, the same sort of level of leadership of a certain age. Do they want renewed leadership? Is it time for renewed leadership in Nepal?
Yes, I think that's the bottom line for them, that they have said that they are fed up with the political leadership that they have seen. Few political parties, the most dominant ones, Nepali Congress, UML, the Maoist political party, they have dominated the scene for quite some time, and the faces that you've already mentioned have been quite dominant. And they basically want to see new faces, new political actors come and offer some kind of future for them, which they think is lacking.
Is one option the mayor of Kathmandu, Balendra Shah? I see that one of his talents are rapping.
Yes, engineer by profession, a rapper turned, through a popular vote, came out of nowhere, you could say, and became the mayor out of the blue, in the sense that nobody had expected him to win. So he is definitely very popular amongst the Gen Z generation. But there are other figures as well that are negotiations are still going on. Yes. I think at the moment it's not clear what's going to happen, where it's going to lead to, etc.
Okay, Jeevan Sharma, I really appreciate your insights and analysis there from Kathmandu. Thank you so much.
Thank you.